The Local Government Act No. 2 of 2019 provides for, among other things, democratic participation in and control of decisions by the people at the local level. Politicians ideally cannot simply tell citizens how things are going to be done. Every citizen has the right to express an opinion and participate in the democratic process. In our new series, Local Pulse, we are going to have conversations with both the administrative and civic members of the council, ward development committees, and ordinary citizens. We shall talk with them and explore how the structures at the local government level can be a creative force in contributing and even catalyzing the creation of an enabling environment and resources for citizens to participate in shaping the country they want. Today, we feature the Mayor of Livingstone City Council, His Worship, Eugene Mapuwo. We begin by asking him his aspirations as a child.
Well, when I was young, I grew up in the village. Many of my responsibilities were, apart from going to school, was to exercise agriculture. I really loved agriculture. And from childhood, my ambition was to be a truck driver. I loved that sound of the engine brake from the old Oshkosh, if you like. Those trucks are not there anymore. And the second option that I had was to become a soldier. So if I don't become a truck driver, then I have to become a soldier. But unfortunately, I didn't get any of those.
Was that in Livingstone?
Well, I grew up from Joma, in the village, in Ballot. Yeah, so those ambitions were growing from there. But I moved to Livingstone when I came to secondary school. Yeah.
So what motivated you to stand as mayor?
Well, what motivated me was the way people demanded that I take the challenge. In fact, I was not called to be a mayor, I was called to be a member of parliament. But at one point when we were almost there, that's when the party requested me to move to the mayoral positions, which I didn't have a problem. So for me, it was just a call.
Yes, the people may have wanted you to stand, but what motivated you particularly to stand?
Well, as an individual, like I did indicate, I didn't have the desire to go into active politics, but I supported politics. But the core was from the people. The populous majority said, well, I can make a good member of parliament, and that's what drove me to say, well, let me do what people want, because I can't see what I am, but people see what I am. I can just feel and hear what people say. So I got motivation from the community of Livingstone. And that is how I said, well, if people are telling you that you can be this, let me try it. And I just tried it. And here I am, I'm a mayor.
In your own words, what would you say is the role of a mayor?
The responsibility of a mayor is quite huge. The mayor is in charge of the district. I'll give you an example of Lusaka. There are 7 constituencies. So the mayor is in charge of all the 7 constituencies. There are 7 MPs there. So it's not a small job that a mayor does. So he's the overseer of all the activities, all the things that happen in the district. The mayor is in charge. For example, Livingstone here, we have 7 government departments that are devolved to local authorities, to local government. So all those, if the decentralization was complete, we are supposed to be implementing all the programs in the 15 government departments. But because there's partial decentralization, we cannot forcefully do what we are supposed to do. But as it now, a mayor is in charge of the district. And when you're in charge of the district, it means all the activities that are happening there, you must be looking at development, you must be looking at the troubleshooting challenges. You are responsible to ensure that the right things are done.
How does your role work with that of the MP and the councillors, as well as the administrative members of the council?
All of us have different responsibilities. The member of parliament sits in parliament to ensure that he has a defined job description. I have a defined job description. And councillors have a defined role. The councillors are ward managers. While I'm in charge of the district, and the member of parliament is in charge of the constituents. So activities of the constituents are done by the member of parliament, while I carry out all the activities of the district. So the MP and the councillors, they are all swallowed in the mayoral system. So we control and manage. I will give you an example of CDF. CDF, at the time I took over office, was in the ambit of the council. So all the activities that are to do with CDF were controlled by my office. Until last year, May, somewhere there, when that activity, that CDF was got back by the parliamentarians. That's how it goes back. But we are the overseers. Even when CDF comes to the council, still more. I have to sit and authorize it to be implemented. So that is how the MP, the mayor, and the councillor work together. The CDF is implemented in the wards. So either way, we coexist in terms of operations.
From your experience, how well do you think people understand the role of a mayor?
Well, the community knows. That's why when they are crying, there are certain things they'll mention the president. There are certain things they'll mention the member of parliament. There are certain things they'll mention the mayor. Other things they'll mention the councillor. So it means they understand the role of the mayor. That is a city father. When you're a father, you're there to provide certain important things, services to the community, which are not just services, but quality of service. At that point, people will know and will appreciate the role of the mayor.
People complain that leaders disappear after elections. What happens?
Mandalobi, you have a family. You don't know all your family members. You have funerals in the family. You don't attend all those funerals. You have weddings and other functions in the family. You don't attend to all those. Not because you don't want. No, you can't be in all the functions. And so, sometimes when people are saying we don't know them, we haven't seen the mayor, we haven't seen the councillor, it is supposed to be a two-way. If the person desires to meet me for a particular reason, they are free to come to this office. The way you have come, they're free to come. We meet here. I go in the community. I go in the marketplaces. I walk in town. I will not meet everybody. I will not meet everybody. It's not possible. If I want to go door to door to meet everybody, it can't happen because the time I'm going to the next house, not everybody will be in that house. The others will have gone to town shopping. The others will have gone for funerals out of town. So it's not possible to meet everybody. It's not possible.
Yes. Livingstone is small but vast. Who decides what kinds of services to take where and when?
Well, what we've done as a council, we are using the letters ATA. A for action-oriented. When there's a call, or when we identify a problem, we want to act on it immediately. And then secondly, the letter T means transparency. We've been transparent in the way we do things as a local authority and as a district. And thirdly, there's another letter at the front, which is A, which is accountable. We want to be accountable for all our actions. So we are action-oriented, very transparent, and be accountable.
So in the end, who decides what needs to be done?
The council is a planning authority. And so each department has a responsibility to do. So they have the troubleshooting programs in their hand. Some of those are done or identified by the community. For example, there's a Zesco cable passing through a tree which is at someone's yard. It means the owner of that house is going to get in touch with the office here at the council. And once that is done, the council will move to go and assess. Do they require Zesco to come in to help them switch off power so that they can easily cut the tree? And the Ward Development Committee has got a responsibility to conduct meetings in the wards, community meetings. Not their personal meetings, no. A meeting that they will invite community members in that particular ward. Because each ward has a ward development committee. 17 committees are there. So a ward development committee chairperson will call for a meeting. They will sit and say, okay, we have 10 roads in our ward. Now, looking at the money that the council has in our custody, how many roads can we do? They'll sit with the engineers, the planners of the council. They'll tell them, okay, out of these 10 roads you have, we can only do 5. So within that budget, the machines will move from the council to the site. They work on the roads. What we are trying to do is to ensure that one of the components of good governance is exercised, inclusiveness. So we don't want anyone left behind. We make sure that the community is involved. Because once the community is involved, they take ownership of the programs. And at the time someone is saying the mayor has failed, the community will say, no, we have done the following. So no one is left behind. And that is the purpose of being transparent. So at that point, we don't have a problem at all because the community is involved in planning. We don't leave them behind. As we authorize here, the community will have already submitted minutes in my office here to show that this is what we have agreed as a community to do. So if in an event where another person comes in to say, this is not done, we are able to refer them to the committee and the community so that they understand that their absence does not mean that we can't do things that they want. No. It means collective responsibility.
How do you prioritize which areas to service first?
Yeah, what we've put a timetable, time management schedule for all the 17 wards, where we say maybe the machines, if it has to do with roads or drainage, the machines will be in this ward for 5 days. And the councillors will know that this week the machines are coming to my ward. The ward development committee will know. The community will know. We tell them that the machines are coming to your area. But when we do priorities, we are looking at what is it that is required to be done urgently than the others. Because, for example, if we are this dry season between May and November, even if we did a drainage that time, there's no danger. All right, but during the rain season, it's a danger if we don't do the work on the drainage system, because the waterborne diseases, that's how they come in.
Can you tell us about any campaign promise you made that you've managed to fulfill?
We had a backlog of people who retired in 1998. 19 years back, they didn't get their pension. When I sat in this office, within 6 months, I paid them off.
What happened? How did you do it?
Look, when you are an administrator or a manager of a system or an executive, your responsibility is to look for resources. You may not even get a loan, but you have to look at the sources. We just have to examine the sources of income for the council. And from there, we're able to plan how we collect, how we interact with those who are supposed to pay. You give them sometimes leave. You give them motivational methodologies of payments, and they were happy. And they became responsible. The first thing you do is make the person responsible. We made them responsible. And they were able to be responsive. And that way we were able to generate more income. And then from there, we were able to pay off all the retirees, except those who went to court. And we had to also buy equipment, because this council didn't have equipment that you can go and work on the ground. So we have all the types of equipment which we bought brand new. So tools, let me just summarize by saying all the tools that were absent to achieve the intended goals, we have managed that to put them in place. And is that now the council is full operation. There's no excuse. So those are the things that we wanted to do. We had to change the mindset of the council employees. I had to address them, ensure that they understand their job descriptions, because that is where output can be expected. You can have input, but if the input has no parameters, you cannot achieve. So we made sure we fine-tuned the minds of the council employees. You can almost get what you want at the council now. Even if I go to sleep for 40 days, I know that the work will be normal, because the end users, the tools, which are the employees, they understand their job now. They are back to their job descriptions. They know what makes them come to the office. We gave them goals, and they are able to achieve. And that I'm proud of. We have refined council employees. I know there may be one or two that still, you can't have everyone perfect, but we have made sure tools are in place. We built a council garage. These vehicles for the council were just parked anywhere. This time they go in a garage. We have a nice garage by Windsor there. We're building a council lodge by the river front there. And I know we talked about the Liwiu Bridge, we talked about Maramba Liwiu Bridge, Ngwenya, and Sakuita bridges. We have not managed the council to work on those bridges, because those are under the ambit of RDA. But what we did as a council, because that's our responsibility, we prepared BOQs for RDA, and we submitted last year. So RDA came, I think 3, 4, 5 months ago, to do an inspection and see whether what we have planned and budgeted is to their tastes and to the standards that are required by RDA policies. We want that bridge in Liwiu Maramba to start from the Catholic diocese up towards the police post there up there, so that the bridge is very high. No matter how much it rains, everyone can't flood. It's the same with Ngwenya. We started from top up there. Same with Sakuita. So we are done with those bridges, because we've done our part as a council, as a planning authority. We've prepared BOQs. The Maramba will cost about 12 million. The Sakuita is 4 million, and the Ngwenya also will be 4 million. So we are done with that. We also plan to put a drainage. If you look at Dabanov and Airport Road, you look at the terrain for Highlands, it's very sandy. And so we need to put a drainage system of about 12 kilometers in those two locations to ensure that when it heavily rains, the water can be channeled through a big drain that will take the water to the Zambezi River. So those are some of the things that we have not yet done, not because we don't want, but because, we run a 5-year period. And this year we've been hit hard by coronavirus. Even the resources we are supposed to get, the town is shut down. So those are some of the setbacks. But otherwise, we are ready to begin with the drainage system, because our responsibility, when you are given a public office like this one, you must prove yourself approved. We don't come here to joke and sit, drink tea and drink snow, but we come here to serve the community. That is our sole purpose.
As an elected official in 2016, is there anything you wish the electorate would do beyond having cast their vote, which ushered you into office?
They are supposed to be the ones to do the checks and balances. That is the way it must work. They have the right to come and say, Mayor, you have not done here. Mayor, job well done here. Mayor, I think you have forgotten your role. They have the right. It is their responsibility. Just like you, if you have a child, you have just delivered a child. It is your responsibility to nurture the child until the child becomes responsible. They have a duty as a community after casting their vote and giving authority for me to sit in this office. It is their duty to build me, to correct me. They should not just say, oh, let's wait for the next voting day. No. It means the child they have produced, you can end up being irresponsible. I'm proud, Livingstone cause. They will phone you, they will tell you this, others will blast you. That is okay, because if I'm not rebuked, it means I'm not going to be a good leader. I will not see where I'm going, because I can't see my back. They are able to see my back. They're able to check and examine that I'm going off track or I'm on track. So they have a duty to always nurture and correct. That way, I'll be able to be a responsible leader. If I'm not checked, then I'll be irresponsible.
One of your roles is to encourage democratic participation of citizens in decision-making at the local level. What happens?
It's our development committee. That's the link. The councillor, the member of parliament, and the Ward Development Committee is the link. For example, if the machines are in Maramba Ward or Rizuma Ward or Freedom Ward, I'll go there where the machines are working from. I'm able to interact with the community there. They'll be able to tell me, no, this is not right. I think we should have done that road. But we cannot easily change things because it is them that decided that way. So I have time to interact with people. I may not interact with everybody, like I've said. If I'm in the Freedom Ward where the machines are, most of the guys, the people there, they're at work. So I will have left them in town, but I'm in their ward. But I will interact with the people that I will find there. That is how it works. So interaction with the community and exchanging views is done either after 17 hours, during working hours for those that come here. I have a long queue every day. People come here, we interact, they will advise, they will correct, they will rebuke. I have to take everything because that is their vote. It is them who own me. I don't own them, but they own me. I'm their property.
Has your belonging to the UPND, an opposition political party, impacted on your ability to perform your mayoral duties?
I'm governed by a job description. Fortunately, as a mayor today, I have a job description. The first on my job description is policy implementation. And so, policies that govern the system in the district, I'm in charge of that. It is in black and white. I have to be development oriented. If I don't talk development, then I'm failing the community. And so, being UPND, because political parties are authorized in the country, so being a member of UPND is not a roadblock for me to perform. In fact, I must prove myself approved as an opposition mayor to say I can do it. And what does that mean? It means the people that voted for me will have confidence in me. But if I fail, because I'm opposition, I have this fear that, then it means I don't know why I'm here.
What would you cite as some of your biggest challenges?
Well, the biggest challenge is the issue of limited resources. Because as a local authority, you are aware that we are not usually funded for operations. So we have to generate our own income. We have the 20% from the equalization fund, which is used for capital projects. And that money is set aside, and then we identify which projects must be done. But if we had a fully fledged operation in terms of funding to fund all the developmental projects, that way we should have been very far in terms of development. It is when you are inside the office when you can see what is it that can be done to enhance the service delivery into our, because for us it is service delivery. Councils are basically for service delivery. But you need resources. Sometimes people, for example, when you are dumping garbage in the locations where they are, we put a skip bins there. We bought skip bins when I just came, big ones. But you go to the market, sometimes I go there cycling so that some people cannot know this is a mayor. I dress and then go there. I just park, I'm chatting some people near this big skip bin. Someone will come with a dish and they are dumping the thing on the ground. And then there's a huge bin, huge, over 3 meters long and 2 meters wide. They're going to put the litter on the ground, and then you start wondering, is this person able to see or he's not able to see? But if he's not able to see, why didn't he dump it elsewhere, but he's bringing it where the skip, next to the skip bin? That is how painful it is. So we struggle to spend more in garbage collection when we could have even spent less because of some citizens that are not responsible. But it's not very many. There are very few that are responsible in Livingstone. That I can say it proudly. Livingstone citizens are highly responsible. That's why the town is clean. It is because of having responsible citizens who understand our vision. Yeah? And so the issue of resources has been the biggest problem. But we have managed, under good governance, I said, whatever amount of resources you have, you can put it to the best use in the best interest of the community.
Will you do anything different now that we're leading up to the elections?
This is a town that has been badly hit because we had 3 T's. There was timber, it is closed. We used to have the other T, which was textile. We had over 23 factories in Livingstone here. They are all closed. And we only have 1 T surviving, which is tourism. It has been shut down for the past 11 months now. No income. And so it is very, very difficult to operate under such circumstances because, like I did indicate, our office or my office is there for service delivery. And so where we used to collect revenue from, you can't even go there because you know those people are not having any income. We'll assess between now and June, although by May I'll be out of this office. So I'm only remaining with about 3 effective months, not the 1 year you're talking about, only 3 effective months.
And your final words, is it enough to vote?
What I must say is that it is not enough to vote. When I'm a mayor here, any citizen in Livingstone is also part of the mayoral position because that is their vote that brought me here. So when I'm a mayor, they're also mayors. So they must take responsibility to ensure that I do the right thing. I can't know it all. I'm not going to do everything to their taste or to the taste of the different individuals that are in Livingstone. But if we collaborate throughout mayor's office and themselves, this is a public office, so they must be free to come to this office anytime. So when I'm a mayor, they must know that they are also part of my failures will be their failures because they know where I have failed. If they keep quiet, they don't tell me, then I'll continue to fail. Is that their interest? No. Their interest is that I provide services to them, not just services, but quality of services. I can only do that if they are vigilant on me. Thank you.
And with that, we end today's program. Democracy means government of the people, by the people, for the people. Next week, we are going to speak with the councillor for Nansanzu Ward in Livingstone, Mr. Nyambe Sakubiwa. We hope you will tune in. Remember, only those who are well informed can effectively participate in the democratic process. Everyone, every citizen has a civic duty to stay informed. We would like to hear from you if you have any comments or suggestions about the program. Send us an email to localpulse@quadcommunications.org or call us on 0977 586 506. Thank you for your time.